Hey, Max.
Hey, Dad. Happy spooky season.
That's right. It is spooky season. It's October. Can you believe it? It's
I
fall.
know.
Do you
Crazy.
have fall weather in Los Angeles?
We do. It's cold here, and I don't know how to use my heater yet. So, lots
Oh,
of
wow.
hoodies, as you can tell. But, yes, very happy for it to be spooky season.
I love fall in Georgia. All the leaves come down. It's beautiful. It's nice and cool. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. You should come home. You should come home and check it out.
You should come to LA and show me how to use the heater here.
Why don't I go to LA and you come to Atlanta?
That's a
And then
really good idea.
we'll do a podcast and I'll be in your house and you'll be in my house.
That sounds great.
What a great plan. What could possibly go wrong with that?
Before
Yes.
that, let's go ahead
Before
and roll
that?
the intro music.
I agree. Roll that music.
Max and Dad's wholesome chaos. Max and Dad's wholesome chaos.
Guys, I'm really nervous my camera's not in focus.
So spooky season, that's a big deal for our family. Or it always has been.
Yeah, no. The crazy thing is, growing up, we decorated for Halloween almost as much as we decorated for Christmas.
That's true. Like every October 1st, it was like, it's time to bring out the boxes. We bring all the boxes upstairs from the closet. And we have about as many like Halloween decorations as we have Christmas decorations. Your mom
Yeah.
accumulates a lot of stuff over the year. It's a big deal.
Yeah, no, you know how there's like the Christmas villages? We did do those. We loved our Christmas villages, but we also have Halloween villages.
Yeah,
And so
we do.
we have a really good routine too. It's like October, kind of a little bit before October for me. I like get in the spooky season, mood when it starts to get colder outside. And throughout October we have scary movies, and then November we do Harry Potter because those are kind of spooky because like wizards, but also kind of Christmas because Hogwarts and like they go over Christmas time. And
Always,
then
yeah.
like Harry Potter leads us into December, which leads us into Christmas movies. So we
Tons
have
of
a
Christmas
very
movies.
but we're not going to do that this year, are we?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be weird without you for sure. I will tell you, we haven't moved the boxes yet. So everything's still in the closet.
No. Are you still going to decorate?
I don't know.
You should.
I think this year, since you're not there and Eddie's not there, we'll be the people that don't decorate at all. And then Halloween comes, we just turn off all the lights and pretend we're not home.
You would
It'll
never.
be like the opposite of how
Oh
we've
my
always done it in the
gosh.
past.
Let me let you guys in on a little secret. My dad at Halloween, it is his time to shine. He literally, even before TikTok, our house was like the place to be on Halloween. Kids would come every single year and be like, "Where's the juggler?" Because
True.
he would come outside and he would unicycle, he would juggle fire, he would
Yeah.
do his own like little shows.
If I was booked somewhere else, like they would get upset. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what a letdown that your mom had to convey, or Nona June when she was living with us. It's like, no, he's not here
Literally.
this year. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just take some candy. The way we
Yeah.
put it was, I'd say, and I don't know when this started. You guys were little, and we just started doing trick or treat, and then I'd say, our house we do both. Which would you like first, the tricks or the treats? And it would be like juggling glow balls, juggling knives, riding in the unicycle, and then juggling fire. And then it's at a certain point when it gets dark and we get a flow of people, like enough people, pretty much it breaks down to me like juggling fire, riding unicycles full time for like 3 hours. It's exhausting.
But you love it.
I
But
do.
I would argue that it's a little trickier now with TikTok,
Well,
Like
I don't
people
mind it.
recognize you. Well, yes and no. Like we don't have a problem with saying hi to people. Like we love that. We love meeting people. But it's a little different when it's at your own house. You know what I mean?
That's true. You feel kind of exposed and out there, and it's like, yep, this is my spot.
It's where I live.
I believe in the goodness of humanity, though, and ultimately, you can't live your life in any kind of fear or protection. It's like, our vibe's all about giving out love and giving out, good feelings toward others. So you gotta trust in that it's going to be just fine. There was one year that I decided to do robo stilts for the
Really?
cul-de-sac. That was a bad idea. So Robo Stilts is a 10-foot tall stilt walking character that your mom and my friend Philip and I kind of came up with this concept where you're talking through like a modulated like computer voice that comes out a speaker on your chest, wearing a helmet and this purple leotard and these wild stilts and lights all over your body. Very fun and very entertaining, but kind of uncomfortable. And so what that would mean is like I was like outside doing the cul-de-sac and doing trick-or-treats, and then I'd come inside. It's like, what are you going to do? You're standing around your house in stilts. So I'd end up like sitting on the kitchen counter waiting for the doorbell to ring. It was a long Halloween night. And then last year was kind of weird too with COVID. The trick-or-treater flow was really slow, and then you did that super sweet video, that TikTok for me, which was such a surprise, and it actually did really well too.
Yeah, that was funny because when I went back to college after Halloween, because as most college kids, I went home to pass out candy with my parents. After I went back to college, my roommate Annie told me that like her boyfriend had seen the video on Reddit. I was like,
wow.
That's strange because we put it on TikTok.
For the listeners, why don't you tell them what the concept was or what you did?
Yeah, so basically, as we've expressed so far in this podcast, my dad loves Halloween, like trick-or-treating. Loves the connection with the kids, and just kind of, that's like one of his ways to give back, I guess, is to make people smile. And so he was
just play for me. I mean, I just love to play. So
yeah. Well, he was kind of sad because we didn't have any trick-or-treaters for a while because it was COVID. And things were it was like a school night too. So things were just a little strange. And so I dressed up in a old costume I had as Tinkerbell and walked around the house to be the first trick-or-treater. So he would have someone to juggle for. And it was really cute, super fun. And I still like at the end, I was like, wait a second, are you that guy from TikTok?
It was very sweet. And I think you broke the ice because after that we had a lot of trick-or-treaters after all. So it turned out to be really, really great. So what are you going to do for trick-or-treating or for Halloween? Are there parties out there?
I don't know yet. Yes.
Do you want to come home?
In fact, parties in LA. I don't think I should come home for
Probably
Halloween because I'm going to be back for Thanksgiving. Well,
and I'm going to see you just before that at the wedding, which we'll talk about later.
Yes, for sure. But no, I don't know what I'll do yet because I'm kind of scared of parties. Like I'm very honestly kind of socially awkward in like social situations like that. Like I truly am. I never know what to do with myself.
Most people grow out of their awkwardness. I think you grew into
I grew
your awkwardness.
into it. No, 100%.
Because when you were a little kid, like a little girl, you were fearless and would go anywhere and meet anybody and break all the conversations up. But then somehow you tucked yourself into a little bit of anxiety around that.
I blame middle school.
That screws up a lot of kids. Middle school's tough.
Yeah. But no, I think I do want to dress up this year because I haven't dressed up in years. Well,
do you know what you want to be yet? Do you have a costume idea?
I don't know yet. But I totally take that back. I have dressed up. I just haven't like gone to Halloween parties, so no one's really seen my costumes for the most part. Did you have fun Halloween costumes as a kid?
As a kid, well, we didn't have costumes like we do now. Like we have a lot of we have a costume closet because over the years we've just accumulated a lot of costumes for shows and things. But as a kid, we'd always make it up and create stuff along the way. And yeah, there were some wild ones. Like the strangest one was probably like I was in first grade and my mom's friend Annette had a daughter who for some weird reason had a nun outfit that fit a little girl. It was like her size and it was a nun costume. And we ended up getting that from Annette. And I, as a first grader at like 6 years old, 7 years, she said it was 6 years old, like it was first grade. For me, it seems like I was older. But I wore, and get this, we wore costumes to school. So I wore to my public grammar school a nun costume, a wig, and a we had this wooden rosary that was hanging in our house that I wore as kind of like a belt, and
my
like
gosh,
just
I've
sashed
seen
the
this
whole thing
picture.
together. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm wondering. Do I remember this more from the pictures? You know how some of your memories, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember that well. That's because you saw the picture. But
For sure.
I really kind of remember it because I got a lot of attention that day, and I kind of had to just lean into the weirdness of it all, strutting my
Yeah.
stuff, going to school in a nun's outfit. It was very
so
odd.
That's so funny. My
Yeah.
I remember, I feel like we did used to dress up for Halloween at school. Even if it was just little things. My senior year of high school, I did.
Did
I
you?
got in trouble. Yeah.
What did you wear?
Looking back at it, hindsight, I see the error of my ways. I went to a private Christian school, and I decided it would be cute.
What?
I thought it'd be cute if I was like a little bunny at school. And so I had my uniform, which was like jeans and a collared shirt, and I had a little bunny tail that I like pinned to the back of my jeans and had little bunny ears. And all
You
of
see
my
the problem with
teachers-
this, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't know
okay.
where I like immediate. I go in and out of having a lot of confidence in certain situations, and I don't know like who this other person is that comes out with all this confidence, but this was one of those scenarios. And I only had one teacher who was like, hey, you can't wear that, you know, dress code. And I was like, totally got it. Left the classroom, put it back on. And all my other teachers loved it. So not the best example. But it was like me and two of my other friends. We were like, let's just do like spooky season makeup for Halloween to be all fun. But I guess I just took it one step further. But no, I remember as a kid, Eddie, me, and our next door neighbor, Brooks, would dress up as Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Like, we did that for a long time, right?
Eddie looked exactly like Harry Potter for a
He
lot
did.
of years.
Yeah.
It was wild. You give him the glasses, he had the exact haircut. Yeah, it was striking, and you could pull off a really good Hermione. And,
Yeah, the frizzy hair.
Yeah, you guys. We did a Hogwarts Christmas party or birthday party for Eddie because his birthday is in November, and that's when Mom painted the whole interior of the house like a castle.
Really? That's why we did it?
Yeah, well, she wanted to do that anyway, but she's like, oh, we'll time this for our birthday party. And so
Yeah.
after that was done, Eddie was like, next year I want a different party. We're going to do this theme and you can paint the house like that. And she was like, no, Eddie. That was
That's
just
really
a one-time
funny.
deal. Yeah.
No, I remember you guys went crazy with the birthday parties as a kid, especially Eddie's, because I feel like for the most part, no, like, not like a favoritism thing or anything of that sort. It was just, I had a summer birthday, so I feel like I was always like, oh, I want a pool party. But Eddie had these cool, elaborate parties where I don't know if it was the fact that I was so young that made them seem, you know, as great as they were. I'm sure they were great, but you know, when you're young, you just kind of have like that mindset of like, whoa, this is amazing. But yeah,
They were great. They were great
yeah,
parties. Because
my
they always had a
memory-
theme and they always had a quest, right? And so we would write a series of clues. It wasn't just going to one place, but it would take you to different places throughout the city or downtown, or we went to a cemetery one year.
That was when they were older. I'm talking about the like the Harry Potter one. If my memory serves me correctly, I remember all of us being downstairs with like wands, and we would cast fake spells, and then like Mom was on the balcony with like something that came down so it looked like we were doing magic. Like,
Yes.
did that actually happen, or
That actually happened. That
was
actually happened.
insane.
And we did the one spell where we had bought the like these gummy slugs, and you know that's that spell where I forget what it is, but when Ron gets cursed, or he actually was trying to curse Draco, but he's vomiting up slugs.
Eat slugs.
Eat slugs.
I think that
and
was
then
all he
and then
said. Great spell, Ron.
That's a brilliant spell. And then it backfired, and so we had those to kind of like spit up gummy slugs.
Yeah,
we
that
went-
was so cool.
And then the presents policy was kind of ridiculous for your parties. Why don't you explain that?
Oh my gosh, I don't think we can without us getting into another family argument. we had a rule when I was a kid, which I think it was a good rule. I do. Where Eddie and I didn't get presents from our friends. We got food. Let me elaborate. So we got canned food from our friends. They'd bring in like non-perishable food items that Eddie and I would then go donate to food banks and like food drives and stuff like that for people who didn't have food, essentially. And so it became like a competition a little bit between my brother and I, where we would see, who could raise the most food to donate. And it was really cool. And I think it was good at a young age because, like my mom said this before, when you're 6, 7, 8, like when you're a kid, honestly, before you're like 15, the presents you're getting and giving to your friends are presents that like your mom went and bought. They're not these really personal things that they like thought out for the most part. It's kind of like parents buying presents for other people's kids. And so that was like I understood that. However, we have an argument in our family of when we think the age bracket should have ended for this rule.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that too much.
Well, it was just a sensitivity thing, empathy. Like, we didn't want to obligate parents to have to go out and buy gifts. We just want your kid to come to the party because they're friends, and it's special to our son or daughter to have your son or daughter there at the party. We want them to be there. Don't worry about anything. Just show up. And if you wanted to bring something, go into your pantry, bring some food. But it was weird. But people definitely got used to the idea. But it probably made you stand out a little bit among your friends.
I had friends at like my 18th birthday who would like slip me a present and be like, "Don't let your mom see."
Don't let your mom see it.
guys,
And
I'm
at
an
the
adult.
end of the party, we would give you a present that was like the big present from mom and dad.
Yeah.
It also takes a long
super
time
fun.
to open presents at friends' parties. It's like that could be like a significant portion of the party when you guys could just be having fun and being with each other and doing cool, crazy stuff. Like the inflatable slide we got for your summer parties. We bought an inflatable slide to slide into the pool.
Do we still have that?
Yes, we do. It's actually right up there.
No way. No way.
It's in the loft right there. I
Oh
could
my
go
gosh.
get it. We could inflate it during the podcast.
Not right now, maybe. We might have some audio issues with that. But when I am home and it's not cold outside, can we please blow that up?
Yeah, for sure. Or if it is
gosh.
cold outside, we could still blow it up. And we could do a TikTok. We could do a push in the pool video slide edition.
Yep. That sounds really easy to film. No, but the other birthday party that I want to mention real quick was one of Eddie's, also when he was younger, the Survivor themed one.
Oh, right.
That was cool.
It took a lot of planning. It was a little extra effort, but it was really fun.
Yeah. It was essentially, if you've seen the show Survivor, it was along those lines with tribes and challenges. And
we voted friends out of the party. They'd have to leave every 15 minutes until there was only one friend left at the end. And
it was Eddie.
And it was Eddie.
We rigged it. No. Imagine Eddie gets voted off first. And they're like, sorry, son.
Sorry, Eddie. You got to leave your party.
You gotta go.
Go to your room.
That'd be so bad. No, but you guys.
That didn't happen. That was not how it worked. It was mainly games and competitions and adventure stuff, and like they had to eat broccoli contest. Like it was like, we tried to come up with things that were distasteful to young kids.
Yeah.
Blindfold broccoli eating. That's what your mom and I just kind of make stuff up.
Yeah. I've started to notice that a little bit as I've gotten older.
Yeah, a lot of extra effort goes into those moments, but apparently they create some memories, which is the whole point, the reason why you do it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, it's way easier to just say, we're going to rent out this place, we're going to go there, we're going to do a party. And that was probably, there were a lot of years that would be more appealing because we were busy, but we got it done.
And not to say that those other options aren't fun. Like, they definitely are.
For sure.
Yeah, we were just the odd family on the block.
Exactly. So you ready for an ad, Maggie?
Do we have? Okay.
Yeah,
You go for it.
So this podcast is brought to you by danthurmon.com. So if you're looking for a speaker for your next corporate event, if you work for a big company or big association and you're looking for a world-class Hall of Fame speaker to open or close your conference, you might consider Dan Thurmon. Go out there to get inspired, watch the weekly coaching video and get good information for your life.
That's so strange. I don't seem to have this ad copy.
No, and if you were to buy a copy of Off Balance on Purpose and enter
Great
the
book.
coupon code Wholesome Chaos or podcast.
Is there
Any of
actually a
those.
promo code for it?
No, but I have to create one. So
okay.
put in chaos, because this ad is very chaotic. Chaos. And we'll not only give you a discount on the book, but we'll pay the free shipping as long as you're in the U.S. I can't do free shipping around the world, kids. So
He's not Santa.
well, yeah, exactly. No, but you could go out there and see kind of what I do and the crazy life that I have. If you haven't yet, you could check out that. It's kind of wild. I've got a crazy life that I get to go to people's parties and events and conferences and learn about their companies. We had one of those calls today of an event I've got coming up. It's going to be massive, going to be huge.
Yeah.
I love my job. What can I say?
So
we have
do
another
you
event.
have
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we have another event coming up, kind of more of a family event.
Yes, we do.
You know,
And
what it
that's all
is?
we're going to say about
That's all
that.
we're going to say.
No, we have a wedding.
Yep. Somebody in our family is
gosh.
getting married. Maggie's cousin, my nephew
Yep.
Clay, in Austin, Texas. And it's kind of a big deal.
It's a huge deal because it is the first grandkid to get married. And I think our grandparents were freaking out a little bit because all of us are taking our sweet time.
Well, you're still young. But
yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be exciting to get everyone together and to see their life, Clay and Susie, get married and start a family or whatever that they're gonna do.
Yeah, I was joking with some of the other cousins where we were like, they're really kind of the only hope for grandkids in the foreseeable next 10 years. So there's a lot of pressure on them for that. So I hope that that's what they want because they're gonna be told that a lot at their wedding.
No, it is what they want. So God willing,
Okay,
I hope they get kids relatively soon.
5 to 10.
We could. Won't that be fun when we get some new people, young people in our family?
Wait, what does that make me in relation to their kids?
Second
cousin?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
I know. I have a lot of second
wanna be
cousins
an
in my
aunt.
life. Well, it feels like an aunt kind of relationship, but you're like an older cousin.
Gotcha.
The other cool thing about this wedding is I'm actually officiating the wedding. They asked me to marry them.
That's not your first. This is
my
not your first wedding.
But it's only my second, and it is a big deal. It makes me nervous because you prepare for it in a different way, and it's just such a special thing. Yeah, the first time was a few years ago. My good friend Tim and his wife Sophia, and I got ordained just for that with the Universal Life Church, which is a big deal. You got to go out there and you basically fill out a 30-second application and poof, you're a minister.
Wow.
And you have this magical power to marry people. And it's official. It's legit because marriages are really a state contractual agreement. And so it's a legal process by the state, but it does take someone from an ordained position to officiate and sign the marriage certificate and make it legal. And that process makes you capable of that. But it's a very different kind of speech, that's not a speech.
Yeah.
That's what makes it different.
Yeah.
and for Tim and Sophia, you were the flower girl.
I was 14.
I think you were older. I think you were 16.
I think I was no, because I had braces. I was either 14 or 15. Yeah, that was interesting. No, but they had a beautiful wedding. That's the only wedding I've been to. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I remember I was standing up there with Tim, and you come down the aisle looking so pretty in your dress and scattering the rose petals, and you walked on stage with me. And what came into my mind was, the next time we do this, I'm going to be giving you away. And it just hit me in the heart. and it almost made me start crying. And I was like,
I'm literally tearing up right now.
and I'm thinking, I better pull this together because you have to marry this couple, and then it was really powerful. It's very cool, and it's an incredible honor to officiate a wedding, and I'm gonna really work hard to give Clayton and Susie the wedding they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be really exciting. So, do you want to do some questions, Mags? You want to
I
mix
would
in some
love
questions?
to do some questions. How about you read them?
We get so many great questions at wholesomechaos.com. If you wanted to ask a question of us that may find its way to this podcast, please go out to that website, wholesomechaos.com. Also, if you're looking for some tools or resources for your family in terms of how to increase your communication, help each other achieve your goals, right there on the webpage in the upper left corner, it says, get the guide. And you can get the guide. It's something we worked hard to put together that'll help your family and give you some great steps to work through and talk through to create a better bond. This question to us comes from McKenna. And McKenna says, I have health problems called EDS, and I can't always do things because I don't feel so good. What do you guys do when you don't feel good and want to stay motivated? From McKenna. I looked it up, Maggie. EDS is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's also called elastic skin. It affects your skin, your joints, your bones, your connective tissue, and it can be pretty painful. It can limit your physical movement and affect bruising. And so it sounds like a really tough condition. Obviously, we don't have any direct experience with that condition, but I think we could talk about, like, what do you do when you're not feeling good?
Yeah.
How do you get to feeling better?
Yeah, genuinely, I think one of the most important things is, like, take care of yourself. You can be a little selfish with, like, not even so much as selfish, but passing on opportunities. I've had to do that a few times this week where I don't feel good. I'm tired. Like, I'm working myself too much where I know I need to take care of myself. And so I, like, had a few nights this week where I just order dinner and then watch TV and find the little things that make me happy while still taking care of myself mentally and physically, if that makes sense.
I was a little surprised yesterday when you told us you had a rough 3 days, that you were feeling really low.
It's really bad. This week was really bad.
I'm sorry to hear that. And I was kind of surprised. I was like, well, why didn't you reach out sooner? But I guess it's hard to reach out when you're not feeling well. It's hard to ask for help when you don't feel up for it, you know?
I'll tell you right now, too, I was actually talking to some of my friends about this, where I, like, kind of opened up about this, where I feel like everyone in my life right now has their person. Like, all my friends are either in relationships or, like, at college with their college friends, or, like, you and mom have each other. I know you guys are always there for me, but, like, you and mom have each other, where it's so hard for me to reach out to people without feeling like a complete bother, like a burden on them. And that's something that
you know
I need
that's
to
all in your
work
head,
on.
right? Like, they wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, I also think it is past, what do you call it? Baggage a little bit from people who, like, just didn't truly care about me, and so, like, they did make me feel like a burden, you know? Which, like, if someone really cares about you, they care about you. And, like, I tell people all the time out here, I'm like, I know we just met today, but if you ever need to talk to someone, like, text me. Here's my number. Call me. Because I know how, like, isolating this city can be, especially to my other people out here who, like, live by themselves. I literally tell them all the time, I'm like, let's go grab coffee. Like, let's go do something small, because it really does help. But even when I, like, try to go out of the way for other people, and, like, I know that they're not a bother on me, I still have the mentality that, like, if I do it, then I'm troubling them. And it is a mind game, and it is something I'm working on. But
the other thing I would say, McKenna, is, well, two things. Like Maggie was talking about helping other people or reaching out to other people. When you're feeling yourself really down and, like, low and isolated and restricted, I would say, what can you do to help somebody else? You can't, like, be in the process of trying to help someone else without feeling a little bit better yourself. And so there's always someone else you can reach out to and care about. And that's a great recommendation. The other thing is, I would say, like, this gift of solitude and the time that you have that you can't be doing things maybe you'd rather be doing there's also an upside to that, because it gives you time to be introspective, or to maybe like, there's some upside to that. Every downside has an upside. I believe that. And every upside has a downside. And so that's kind of like the polarity of life. So there's some opportunity within this challenge. Maybe it's getting to know yourself better. Maybe it's working on a project that you otherwise wouldn't take the time to do, that doesn't require a lot of movement. Maybe it's writing something. I don't know. But just open yourself up to the possibility that there's something really great that can come out of it. And then maybe you'll begin to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that leads me into motivation, like Dad's motivational moment. Because I did want to share something, and I appreciate you giving me some time to do that, Max, because I really wanted to respond to something I've been seeing on TikTok. A lot of the questions that come into my feed are about, like, what should I do with my life? How do I know if I made the right decision in terms of career? I don't know what I want to do in my future, and feeling a lot of obligation. Kids these days feel a tremendous amount of responsibility at a really young age to have it figured out in terms of, like, well, what is your dream job? What do you want to be when you grow up? What school do you want to go to? What's your major going to be? And there's this idea that if you guess wrong, like, you've condemned yourself to a life of unhappiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I would just want to encourage you to know you really can't guess wrong. Like, there's no wrong answer, because life's about learning and life's about experience, and everything's connected. And the pathway that you choose now will be the first pathway that'll lead to other pathways. And whatever you learn or undertake now will feed into that too. Like, it's all interconnected. And so instead of thinking about, like, what is my job or career or major, I want you to be thinking about some game changer skills that everybody needs to learn. And if you master these skills, then you will be super successful anywhere in life. Anywhere you go, you'll be in demand. You know, you're going to be able to find a job, or you're going to be able to plug into somebody else's project, or you'll be able to ask for, like, how can I help you, and be included. And so if you learn these skills, and some of them sound super simple, but they're not, then you're going to be fine. The first is dependability, like being the person making a rule in your own mind that you're going to be the person who's always there when you say you're going to be there. You're dependable. When you promise somebody you're going to get something done, or you're going to take care of some input to a project or whatever, like,
That's
you're going to do it.
That's such a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and so it's really just a matter of, like, making an agreement with yourself. I am a dependable person, and then just doing whatever it takes to earn that reputation, which you can only build over time. So dependability, writing. If you can learn to write well, and I know that's a skill, but if you can learn to write well, to get ideas and thoughts down on paper, you're going to always be in demand, because writing is a skill that is not a lot of people can do it well, right? So likewise, speaking, if you can get in front of a group of people and convey an idea and learn that skill, we could talk about that on a future podcast in terms of, like, how do you develop that ability? But that's a great one. Project management, like being able to see a big project and break it down into smaller parts, get other people involved, and be kind of the one that drives everything to completion. It's a tough skill, but if you learn that, if you say, yeah, I'm going to figure out how to get things done, then you're going to always be in demand. And just kind of going along with the dependability is timeliness, like being on time wherever you go, is a big part of that. And then the last one is just, like, being nice. If you're a decent person that people like to be around, you're going to be fine. People want to be around people they want to be around.
Yeah,
and so,
be someone who others want to work with, not just because they're good at their job, but because they're a good person.
Yeah. So that's the first goal, is to just, like, be the kind of person people like to be around. So I just wanted to help kind of reframe your ideas about that as well. So any other thoughts to share about game-changing skills, Maggie?
No, that sounds good. Learn how to dress nice. Style. That's something I'm still learning right now. Yeah, confidence is important.
Learn to juggle.
Learn to juggle. Learn how to braid hair.
Braid hair.
How to
job interviews.
Yeah, color coordinate. How to walk in heels. I don't know.
Juggling is a great skill.
like
You got to
things.
admit, juggling's opened a lot of doors for our family.
I'm always so surprised when I walk in a room and like half the people already know how to juggle. Like, huh? I didn't see that coming. I'm a little threatened now, but no, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's a very good skill. All right, time
Do
for
you
another
have-
question.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you want to ask another question?
You got it. I just wanted to say that I loved that Dan said one episode that he had to go somewhere for a show and instantly corrected himself and said, I get to go. And absolutely loved the fact that you corrected yourself and saw it as an opportunity instead of something you had to do. And this is from Ellie. She said, love you guys. Amazing gratitude concept, Ellie. And Ellie, while you were delighted by that, I can assure you that Maggie and her brother and her mom are somewhat annoyed by that on a regular basis. Right, Maggie?
Yeah. It was not so much now you don't do it, but like when we were kids, yeah.
Well, now it's become a habit. And it really is. What I was doing is just like the habit is to
Reframing.
because words are powerful. And in truth, if you were to say, I have to do this, I have to do my homework, I have to clean my room, I have to do this, it's actually not even like true, because you don't have to. You will ultimately control your actions. You ultimately control your response to your world. But you've decided to do it because you know the consequences of not doing it are worse, and you decide, yeah, I'm going to do that. I have to do that. But by keeping it in that space of like obligation, like it really makes you less connected to the process of actually doing it. Where the first step is to go from have to need to. Need to is saying, I recognize this is something I need to do in order to be responsible, in order to get an A or get a B or please my parents or be with my friends, or I need to do this in order to get what I want, right? But then the third is recognizing it truly is a blessing. I get to do this. A lot of people in their life wished that they had this opportunity, or wished that they had this chance to work for something meaningful. And so seeing it as a get to is ultimately the one that puts you in the most resourceful state, and ultimately leads to the best product.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So how tall are you, Maggie?
I am 5'11".
Yep. I'm 6'9".
Yep, that's
We
us.
get these questions a lot. And we decided on
Yeah.
this podcast to talk a little bit about height.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Max.
Funny story. It was actually on Sunday. I was at a friend's house, and a girl who I was hanging out with there, she said she was 5'3". And I looked at her and I was like, wait a second, I'm 5'3". And she was clearly a few inches taller than me. And then another girl came over and she was like, well, I'm 5'5". And both of us were like, sis, you are not 5'5". And so we had one of our friends go grab a tape measure, and we all ended up like measuring ourselves. And we still didn't 100% figure it out.
What do you mean? You didn't figure it out? Didn't the tape measure help with that?
Yes, but then like the tape measure said I was 5'3", and the other girl was 5'3", and we were like, but we're standing next to each other, we're not the same height. So it was, I literally had a moment where I was like, okay, everyone in this room is lying about their height, and it's throwing everyone off. But yes, I am 5'3". That's what my driver's license says, I believe.
I'm 5'7", right? So
Yeah.
we're not.
We're a small family.
We're small people. We're fun sized. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fun fact.
We get to go around the world and in greater comfort. Like we travel better in airplanes. I think.
Oh yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
When I was younger, I used to tell everyone that my brother was like 6'5", because I was like, he's just so tall. Like he is so tall, and he is tall. He's like one of the tallest people in our family, but he's not 6'5". He was just taller than like me substantially.
I think Eddie's 5'10".
Yeah, like he was I don't know why I thought he was so tall. But yeah, no, our whole family, we're small people, we're happy people. But the crazy thing is about TikTok is, especially when like it's just you and I doing content together, we can totally manipulate how tall the internet thinks we are. There's like all the little TikTok tricks where it's like, you know, you zoom in a little bit so you look bigger on the screen, or you frame it from a lower angle so you look taller. And it's really interesting, but it's not until we really collaborate with other people that people have an idea of how tall we are.
But look, we're totally comfortable with our height.
Yeah.
We love being little, and there are a lot of advantages to it, because you mentioned the travel thing, lower center of gravity, like the acrobatics and stuff that I do. I've met taller people who could do gymnastics, but they're pretty rare. Like most circus people, acrobat people, whatever, are smaller. And they say that small dogs live longer, so maybe we live longer. I don't know. That's a theory.
Really good comparison.
But I mean, it falls squarely into that category of stuff you can't control. Like, so at some point in your life, you realize, and I used to be really small. Like I was tiny. I had a growth spurt in like 9th grade or 10th grade that got me to this level. But yeah, I used to be so small, and just like I had to be okay with it, because it's like, I am who I am. Get over it. I'm going to put on my nun costume and just do my thing. Which I still have, by the way.
Oh, are you going to dress up as that this year? Is that
totally.
That go-to?
And juggle torches in a nun costume in the driveway.
Oh, no.
There's something not right about that. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, if you did it, I'm sure the internet would tell you. But no, one thing that I think is funny is a lot of the times when I meet people who know me through social media for the first time, one of the first things they always say is they're like, oh, you're a lot shorter than I thought you'd be. I'm like, huh, interesting. But I've also noticed.
I get that a lot too, but I don't think they say it. I think they just think it, and I see it in their eyes.
That's really funny. But I've also noticed that a lot of people I've met in person that I've known through social media are also a lot smaller than I would have thought they were. It just goes to show we can be different people on the internet.
Well, yeah, and it's not that we're even trying to be taller on the internet. I don't want you to convey that impression.
No, not at all. It's just there's less.
You feel the frame.
So it's, yeah.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
All good. So kids, be comfortable with yourself, no matter how tall you are, how short you are. Hey, it's who you are, and you're awesome.
Absolutely.
You're amazing. You're wonderful.
Do you have any more questions?
Last quick question, and this is a fun one because it's from Jake. He says, "Hey guys, how are you getting on? How are you getting on, Maggie? Good?
Good. Great question. We're done. Have a great day, everyone."
Have you ever visited Ireland, or would you ever visit Ireland? And if you did, you should go to Kilkenny and ask me to show you around. So I thought, it's a very simple question. I've been to Ireland with your mom and with Eddie when he was 5 months old. We loved Ireland. We can't wait to go back. It was one of our most amazing trips with little Eddie. You haven't been yet, but I just wanted to maybe throw that out there and ask, are you interested in Ireland, or where in the world would you be most interested in going?
I'm very interested in Ireland. I really, really want to go to Rome as well. I've been seeing, I think it was so funny. There were so many people who were in Europe this past month, like, and posting about it on social media from my high school, from out here. And my first thought when I saw a lot of their pictures in Rome was, oh, they're in Vegas. Like, I thought they were outside of Caesar's Palace. And then I realized, like, oh, wait, this is
actually Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, no, literally. And so I was like, maybe I should go there. So every time I see this, I don't just associate it with Vegas. But no, just so much. There's so many places I want to go to. Ireland, Rome, London, Scotland, Germany again. Great. Yeah. Travel.
I really miss international travel,
Yeah.
in America, you could get so stuck in the way of this is just how things work, or this is how our culture is, or this is how life is. And then you step outside of that and you go. And the first time I traveled internationally was to Saudi Arabia, probably, or,
Oh, wow.
you know, and then my family and I went to Germany. And it's like you have these experiences and you realize, wait a second, there's all kinds of different ways to live your life and go through these basic like things, tasks of being a human. People have different ways of handling it and relating to each other and customs, and it's all beautiful. And it just causes you to open your mind and experience to the idea of, look, there's no right way or wrong way. There's just your way, my way, a lot of different ways to live. And so if we can incorporate that into our story, then you become a more broad person. We had that Rome experience planned for 2020. That didn't work out.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That was
We were supposed to go on a Mediterranean cruise, my family and my best friend's family, right after we graduated
your graduation
high school.
trip, right?
Yep.
And not only did we not get to go on the trip, but you barely got to graduate.
Yep.
You eventually
No
did get a
prom.
graduation, but but we still
yeah.
haven't been back to that cruise. And I've never been to Italy, so that's definitely on my bucket list too.
Let's go. You busy tonight, tomorrow?
Maybe. So we'll plan it. We'll definitely start thinking about our next big trip and where it's going to be and get that on the calendar soon. So
Yes.
thank you,
for sure.
Jake, for that question, and have fun in Kilkenny. And thanks for listening to the podcast. And again, if you
Absolutely.
guys want to ask some more questions or reach out to us or see some videos or just kind of learn more about us, wholesomechaos.com is the way to go for all of that.
Yep.
What's next for you this week, Maggie?
I might go help a friend shoot some more of their reel today. I have to do schoolwork and hopefully pickleball tonight.
Excellent.
I've like met a pickleball community here. Like,
Well,
how crazy is that?
that'll cheer you up. That'll definitely
Yeah.
get you moving. Physical activity, moving around is definitely a great way to change your energy and your state of mind.
Fun fact, yesterday, my friend Blythe and I, we played, we just went to go kind of hit, with each other, warm up. And then these two guys came over and asked us to play, and we were like, oh, we're quite bad. But they were like, no, it's fine, let's play. And we lost 11-1. So there was that. But we can only go up from here or down. We could have lost 0-11. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, way to go on that one point. That was
Thank you.
impressive considering.
I appreciate
and,
it.
And keep practicing. I think I'm going to go take some boxes out of the attic and start decorating for Halloween.
Will you send me pictures? Will you guys FaceTime me tonight, please? Show me.
You got it, kid.
Amazing.
All right. Well, friends, if you've enjoyed the podcast, please keep coming back. Go back in our archives and watch some of the other episodes. This is episode 14, so there's not that many there. You can catch up from the very beginning and be a part of this community. Tell your friends about it and continue to ask those questions so we can give you more value in the future. Yep. And anything else, Mags?
Yeah, you can also catch up with us on our other socials. We are Maggie Thurmon and Dan Thurmon on most socials except for TikTok. That would be Maggie's dad 123. So literally catch up with us in any of those ways, and we hope you'll listen next week.
All right. You're amazing, everybody. We love you so much. And Maggie, I love you. And
you
we'll
too.
talk to you again very, very soon. Have a great week.
Alrighty. Bye. Happy spooky season.
Max and Dads, wholesome chaos. Max and Dads, wholesome chaos.
Wait, do you have a favorite Halloween movie?
The one Adam Sandler did was amazing. Like the new Halloween movie. What's that called?
Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween is a tremendous Halloween movie.
We enjoyed that one so much. We didn't think it was gonna impact us as much as it did, but yeah. It did.
I mean, most Halloween movies are just scary movies, right? This was really funny.
Yeah.
Hubie Halloween. We should watch it together.
At the
Okay.
wedding. During the wedding.